Hi everyone. We are at anchor here in La Paz. We've been here almost a week. We really like it here and I think we've been sucked in. Tomorrow we're going to go ahead and head into Costa Baja, the marina where we stayed at last time, and our plans are to stay until the end of Carnival. Entrance to La Paz is via a 6-mile long narrow dogleg channel, which we found well marked. The channel is bordered by mud flats, and it would be very easy to run aground outside the channel. Across from the city of La Paz is El Mogote, a long flat sand spit bordered by mangroves. This was our first experience anchoring in an area where there is a significant tidal current. We anchored at slack water and fell back on the road under a slight north wind. We chose to anchor next to El Mogote rather than close to town for 2 reasons. The long sand spit would give us some wave protection from the north winds, and El Mogote is a great place to give a dog good exercise. Our life at anchor soon fell into a routine that revolved around trips to El Mogote for Blondie and trips into town. Our technique for getting the dinghy off and back onto the foredeck is still evolving, but the more we use the dinghy, the better we are becoming at getting it up and down. While some trips to Mogote were by dinghy, most were by kayak, and Blondie too is working on her technique for getting up into the boat.
She's a happy dog. Good dog. Good dog. Good job.
Exploring the mangroves was interesting, and much to my surprise, at this time of year, it was not mosquito infested. On another day at high tide, I was able to paddle back into this area and discovered that the channel was navigable for several hundred yards. Not only are mangroves essential habitat for young fish, but also home for 4-legged creatures too. We immersed ourselves in the social life at Club Cruceros. Every day we would dinghy into Marina de La Paz. The marina caters to cruisers at anchor. For $1 a day, we could tie up to the dinghy dock, dispose of our trash, and fill up water containers. For an additional $1 per person, we could use the showers. The facilities were great. We would go to coffee hour and 3 times a week play Baja Rummy. One of the handy items that came with our boat is this siphon. Looking into it, it appears there is a marble inside, and simply by shaking it up and down, the liquid will begin to siphon through the hose. With a recently purchased water jerry can, we hauled 5 gallons of water out to the boat with each trip into town. Transfer from the jerry can was easily accomplished with little fuss. We also have a dedicated siphon for diesel fuel, as we carry 5 jerry cans of diesel, and we can easily keep the fuel tank topped up even while we're at sea. The daily tidal movement of the anchored fleet is called the La Paz Waltz, and anchored in the tidal current, I could always ascertain the status of the tide by looking outside to see what direction we were pointed and looking over the side to see how fast the current was flowing. Unless it was slack water, we were always bow to the current, no matter what direction the wind was blowing. And La Brisa, who has a tendency to sail quite a lot at anchor, lay quietly to the current, which I enjoyed. I was not woken up in the night by La Brisa being brought up short on the snubber, or hearing the chain grind on the roller over the bobstay from a sudden gust of wind. During the evening hours, there was occasional panga and dinghy traffic. So in addition to our anchor light at the top of the mast, we left a Lucy light on in the cockpit, so we would be visible at deck level. One of the jokes about spending time in La Paz is that when you leave, there is a bungee cord attached, which keeps reeling you back in. It has certainly been the case for us, and during our time at anchor, we decided we wanted to be able to throw ourselves into the social life and not have to worry about how the boat was doing on the hook while we were gone the entire day. So it's into a marina for us. What's next? The last time we were at Costa Baja, both Lee and I took and passed the test for the technician level of certification for a ham license. There will be another test at the end of this month here in La Paz, and Lee will be testing for his general license. Find out next time how he did. So, until then,